Hi guys, it's April and it is Sunday, which means it is time for more coloring. I put out to the community what you guys wanted me to color this week, and by most popular demand, I mean pretty much everybody who responded is like, let's color the dragon. So we're going to continue to color the dragon, which I'm perfectly fine with, to be honest, because I'm really liking how this is turning out. Hold on. Let me tweet out the live stream real quick. There we go. But also this week, I got some new Tombos. And so I wanted to at least swatch down these new Tombos as well. Now, I think this happened about 6 months ago and I just wasn't paying attention, but Tombow put out 12 new colors. And I was completely unaware of this until about a week ago. And then when I found out, I kind of flipped because my Tombow collection was no longer complete and some of the new colors were in my wheelhouse. So there's some more blue-green colors, which there really wasn't a lot of. As you can see, there was maybe like one. So I'm really excited to see how these colors lay down. But then I also have to completely redo this color chart that I did ages and ages and ages ago and figure out where all of these new colors fit in. Let's see. I think. There we go. Hi, Elizabeth. So I was just going to fly through the colors real quick, swatch them out so you can see it, and then when what was I saying? Oh, and then later I'll try and figure out where in these color charts I want to place all of these. I mean, because some of these are fairly obvious. I mean, the yellow is probably going to go somewhere within these right here. And then I've got, I mean, I can't, these are probably some kind of like rosy pinks. So they'll probably go somewhere in here, maybe up here, depending on how light or dark they are. And of course, I'll put these blue-greens probably somewhere in here. And these ones will probably move this black line now that I don't know. Still figuring it out. And then we've got this light blue, which is I'm assuming is going to go in there somewhere. Oh, completely understandable, Elizabeth. I mean, last week was a holiday weekend, which is why I'm surprised that I got as many of you guys talking to me as you did, as I did. Wait, English? Yes. So I'm just excited when you guys do show up, because then I'm not talking to myself, which I do on a regular basis. And then I think, this is a new gray tone, so this will automatically, because this is, 52, and I think this is more of a warm gray, so it'll probably go somewhere like after or within this range right here. These don't have the colors written on them, so I'll probably look up the color names when I actually start swatching them out and put them on. And then we've got this tan tone, and I believe this is another gray tone. This is another warm gray that probably fits. I believe these are, it's either 6 or 8. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. So I'm going to quickly do scribbly lines just because I can, and I want to show them off, and I want to see how the color lays down. It's just what I do. See, that yellow looks really green. But then it's like, you can't even see that on camera right now because it's so very, very, very neon-y. Let's see if I can get that there. So that's that new yellow greeny tone. Ooh, I like that peachy pink. I don't feel like it's coming off quite the same way on camera as it is. Let me see if I can get things balanced. There we go. Sort of more true to tone. And then that's probably more of like a rose color. And then the ones I'm really super excited about, we've got like that minty type green. Oh, that is so pretty. I like that so much. Yeah, some of these are going to pair, these last set are going to pair really well together when you want to do a gradient tone. I mean, this probably has a little more green than the blue that some of these have in it, but still, I like it. I like it a lot. And if I was smart, I'd probably do this on a color swatch, but I'm too excited and I just wanted to lay down the color. Look at that blue. And then this is probably more of a navy. Yeah, that is very much. It looks black on them, at least on the monitor, but that is more of a navy blue. And we've got this, I'm going to put the tan over here. It's almost like a skin tone peachy color. There's that first gray, which is that cool gray. And then we've got the new warm gray. So pretty. I mean, I feel like these new colors are filling in some of the gaps that are on here. But that's just me. I mean, granted, that's more of like a green yellowy color. But I mean, we don't necessarily have any of these tones yet, and we definitely don't have any of these. I mean, this light blue is almost a sky blue in color. But then we've got this navy blue, which is clear down here. We don't have anything quite in that same tone. We've got a couple that almost match, and then of course the additional grays. So yes, I'm really excited about using these on something at some point, but my first step will be to get them onto this chart somewhere, and then also get them in my flip book of all the things, because that needs to happen. But that is not why we are here today. So I will put those away for another time, and then we will get back to this beauty. And since we're already like super zoomed in, which is fine, I think that works, we will just start here. Okay. Let's see if I can center that a little bit more. There we go. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to decide if I want to continue on the stonework or maybe start having a little bit of fun. That's not the direction I wanted to go. A little bit of fun on the book. Thinking that I want to start in on that book, just because it's something a little bit different. So I have this dark purple, and then I have some of these more pinky tones, but I think I also want to get this blue tone. So we have the turquoise blue, the violet, the amethyst, and the cosmos that I'm going to try and have a little fun on the book. Now, I don't necessarily have any set plans on what I'm doing for this. So I'm just gonna kind of start to play. Oops. And because I mean, the book has some of this Cosmo-like coloring already. So I think I just want to enhance that more than anything. And just give it a little bit more depth. But I also don't want to lose some of the tone that's going on. Welcome! I'm glad you could make it, Dee. We are just coloring some dragons. And not by some, I mean one. Taking it nice and easy this morning. Okay, so that wiggle is my desk. I think I need to tighten some screws in this sucker because it's a little bit wobbly. So I apologize for that. I was noticing that a little bit last week, and I think it's slowly getting worse. Especially since I'm using colored pencils, and I tend to be a little bit more aggressive when I'm coloring with pencils than when I'm coloring with markers. I want to hit the areas that I want more of the darker tones in. Maybe clean up some of the color lines a little bit. Maybe where I accidentally pulled too much of the color up when I put down that paper towel. I'm almost hitting where there would be shadows with this darker purple with the violet. So I want to build the dark areas. Hi, Robin. Welcome. I think I definitely want to get some of that. There we go. I was going to ask, how has everybody's week been? What is everybody doing? What are you coloring? What are you reading? Let's see, right now I just started, what book did I just start? Oh, Obsidian, which is part of the, oh my gosh, it's by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's the one about aliens. I can't remember what that series, the Lux series. It's part of the Lux series. I've had the Lux series since I started BookTube, and I've read Obsidian before, but that was years ago, and I actually want to read the whole series since I did my impulse buy of getting the whole series without ever actually like contemplating on if I was going to read the whole series. So I've made it one of my goals this year to actually read and complete that series and then decide if it's actually something I want to keep on my shelf, because if it's not, then, you know, Oh, thank you, Robin. I'm glad you like him. I still think he needs a name. Did we name him? I don't think we named him yet.
I don't think so.
So yes, I started reading Obsidian, and it is very much that stereotypical YA read, very much in the Twilight realm, but of course with aliens instead of vampires. And surprisingly, that's the only, I still have the Kenville incident marked on my Goodreads as currently reading, because I'm still very optimistic that I'll actually get that done at some point. But it's starting to get to the point where I'm like, maybe I should just DNF that book and talk to the author and say, hey, right now, currently, I for whatever reason, I can't get into this book, so I don't feel comfortable reviewing it quite yet. Maybe at some point in the future, it will be something that happens. But right now, it is just no. I feel really, really bad, because he is one of those authors who ask before he sent it. And I said yes, because it sounded like something that was right up my alley. For whatever reason, I just can't get into it. I think maybe timing's just wrong, because sometimes you have to be in the right mood to read books. And I'm one of those people that, I'm a mood reader, so forcing myself to read a book is just a bad idea, because I will eventually end up just disliking that book. 7 is still a very decent amount of books, Robin. I'm just saying. But 7 compared to what you normally read, I can understand. The Friend Zone. Oh, you're coloring in pop manga? Yeah, I have a picture started in pop manga that at some point I really need to finish. I've got so many things started that are just kind of lying out there that I need to do. Right? And it's just a simple shade of violet. That's all it is. You're at 212 books read. I am at 81. Yay me. Which, to be fair, is way past where I need to be for my reading goal, so. Oh, I'm sorry it hasn't been a good week, T. I feel you on that. Luckily this week for me hasn't been too horrible, but yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Let's get some of that. Let's see if I can. I was gonna say something. And it was deep and profound too, because you know how good I am at those deep and profound statements, guys. Nope, it's gone. It's not coming back. It checked out for the day. This is gonna bug me now. Let's see. I think it had something to do with a book. I don't know. Having one of those moments. I'll think of it as soon as the stream ends, and I'll be like, dang it! This is what I wanted to talk about. And it'll be gone. I got to experience something new yesterday, and that was kind of exciting. I went to a roller derby for the first time, and I have to say I kind of enjoyed it. Okay, and by kind of, I mean I really enjoyed it. A lot more than I was expecting to be honest. Oops. Got a little excited. But I'm just going to be coloring his claws in with some kind of metallic, so. But I think I've decided that roller derby is one of my favorite sports. I mean, not that I really watch a lot of sports, let's be honest, which is probably why I just randomly decided that roller derby is now my favorite sport. I did film. Did you, Dee? Well, apparently we've got a local team that I did not even know about. And a friend of mine had some free tickets, so we went and we watched. And of course, somebody had to explain all the rules and how you actually score points and what everything means, because we were total noobs. But once you kind of start understanding what's going on, it's kind of really fun. And of course, you start to pick out players that you really enjoy watching. It was, okay, the last game we watched was at least what I'm assuming is a blowout in the sport, because the score ended with 300 and, what was it, like 69 to 32. Which is kind of ridiculous. But very entertaining to watch. And I think maybe part of the reason why roller derby is now one of my favorite sports is because of all of the names. And how you can pick your own name and just go crazy with it. See, I'm trying to decide if I want to, because I mean there's patterns on the book. I'm trying to decide if I want to add some shading and stuff to the book to play with those patterns a little bit, or just kind of continue on how it is. You know what I mean? Possibly. Me. Right? See, that's what I thought. I'm like, we ended up making a game out of it at the end. Just like, do you think they're going to hit 300? I hope they hit 300. So I'm glad we went, especially since it was our local team that won the match at the end there. I mean, the first game was a lot closer when the B team was playing, but when our A team came out, holy fudge! maybe I'll go back in with some grays and stuff, and maybe play around with the pattern a little bit. I don't think I even got any of this middle purple in there. Oh, and I was also going to let you know that I did end up getting a digital version of the color chart done for the Holbeins. I didn't get it printed out, so I can't necessarily show you right now. But I did get that done, and I do want to do a video where I fill that in. These are probably more of a metallic, aren't they? Those book corners. Oh well, I can erase some of that and go back in with a metallic. I mean, I guess I could, I don't know, maybe I can bring it up on the live stream if you guys want to see that. Or if you just want to wait until I actually have it printed out and I'm starting to color it in, that's fine too. Yep, I definitely need to go and check out the stability of this desk. Because it is very questionable right now. As you can see, it's swaying on the stream. Oh, goodness. Build up this a little bit in the darker, and then I can leave the light more in that area. Blend those out just a touch. I'm really kind of liking that. I did grab this blue, and I did talk about wanting to add a little of the blues to it to give it a slightly different tone in some of the areas. Maybe build up some of that galaxy type coloring that seems to have happened on this book. Well, thank you. Okay, well, let's see if I can figure out if I can. Okay, give me. I'm wondering. Oh, welcome! I am so glad you could make it to the stream right now. Oh, no problem. Yeah, feel free to like fling your schedule at me whenever to update the streaming chart or whatever. I'm here. I like being involved in the community. Okay, so right now, let's see. Before I go crazy and you see random things on my screen, because my screen is a mess. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm going to switch over to sharing my screen as soon as I unlock this. Let's see. Okay. Ah, see? Now you can see my screen. Isn't that creepy? You can see a cat just poking out there. Okay, let's see. Where do I want? What am I doing? What is my life? I believe it is. Where is? It's not in my yeah, it's in my Dropbox. There you go. My colors. My color charts. And then see, I've got this Holbein one now. Let's see if I can bring that fully in, and that is not. Whoops. I know how to use a computer, it's fine. So this is what I have for the Holbein color chart right now. I need to print it off and color it, but you've got the whites over here, and then we go into the yellow and the oranges as well. And then right here we've got, of course, the reds and the pinkies. The pinkies. The reds and the pinks, and then the purples. And then we go into the blues right here. And then all of the greens. There are a ton of greens. Yeah, so down below in my description, I have a link, a color chart link. I think it's still in my description. If it's not, I need to add it back in. Let me see. I have my description here. As you can see, this is what I posted when I started my stream. Well, it used to be in my description. Well, I will add it to the description later. Oh, actually, you know what? I can do that myself. Let's see. Okay. Let's go here. I'm going to do this just for you guys. You guys get to see this happening live. Copy Dropbox link. And then I'll go over here and I'll be like, ba-choom, ba-choom. You guys now have access to all 4 of these color charts. The Faber-Castell, the Holbeins, the Irigens, and the Tombos. But like I said, I want to do a coloring video where I fill out this color chart so you can see what it looks like when it's completely filled in. Yes, you can, so that link right there that I just posted, Robin, if you click on it, you will see all 4 of those documents and you can download them because I've made that link a public link. So even if you don't have Dropbox, you can still get to that and download it. So then we have the browns and whatever. And then of course the grays and the blacks and the golds. And then I added the neon-y colors over here by themselves. I originally had them under here because I'm like, well, I have all this extra space. But the thing is, when I put it in an 8.5 by 11 size, these got really, really small and I had all of this white space over here. So I'm like, I'll just kind of shove it over to the side and do it that way. And so this is my Holbein color chart as it stands. And when I update the, let's see if I can get me back to you guys actually looking at the correct thing. So when I get back and update the Tombow color chart with the 12 new colors that you can't see because I completely, these 12 new colors on the Tombow brush pen color chart, and I add them in where they're missing on my current sheet, I will let you guys know that that happened and then put that new Tombow color chart up, if that makes sense. Okay, let's go back to, there we go. So, where were we? Kind of got distracted there. That's fine. Okay, adding some blues to this book. Just a little, not a lot, because I do like the purples. I think mostly in the shadow areas. I'm being very, very light and trying not to make my desk wiggle way too much. I overdid the blue a little bit over here. It's okay, I can make it work. Maybe down here. Yeah, as soon as I found out about the new Tombos, like, I'm buying these. It's done. So the Tombow USA website is now my new favorite place to hang out, because I also ordered a few colors in the twin tones. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's getting there. It's a slow build. I'm gonna blend that out a little bit so it doesn't look so contrasty. I don't know why I decided to sing that, but I did. This one, by the way, is the Cosmos, which I may have just picked out for the name and how well it described what I was trying to do with the book. But that's beside the point. Okay. I think the reason that I didn't notice how wiggly this desk was before is because it used to be propped up against my other desk, so it had no room to wiggle this much. But now that I'm not propped against that desk, it is just all over the place and it's driving me nuts. Look at that wiggle. That's the desk, not the camera. And it's very concerning. Granted, this desk is about 10 years old. It's lived a life. I probably just need to tighten some screws. They aren't on Amazon yet. And it's probably going to be a while before they... Because, I mean, they're not even at Dick Blick yet. So, the only place I've ever found them is the Tombow website. Book, April, I'm in a book discussion group on Facebook. 43,000 members? Holy fudge. That's intense, Robin, and you're number 8. Oh, wow. That's impressive. Very much impressive. Okay, I think that's all I want to do with the book. We could probably do a little bit with that bookmark because it's some of the same colors. Everything but this light pink, I think, is what I want to do with this bookmark. Because I use very few colors when I started out this page. And I do like how this bookmark looks as it is. So I don't want to change it too much, but it does get kind of light in spots, and so I want to build those back up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I tried to, I don't know. First time attempting to use the zigs the way that I did. And so far, I think it turned out pretty well. Got a little bit of this. I'm trying to be light so I don't overwhelm too much. Because like I said, I do like the coloring that happened on this bookmark. And I don't want it to blend too much into the book as well, especially since it is some of the same colors. Maybe I'll pull some more blue into that center there. Because like I said, don't want it to look too much like the book. Yeah, markers are a completely different beast than colored pencils. And I'm finding that the more I learn about colored pencils, I'm not as crazy attached to my markers as I used to be. I'm starting to learn that I like using them in tandem together more and more, and I'm getting this very interesting look when I do that. Maybe I'll add a little bit of this in this highlight area. Yeah, I'll think of that. Leave it kind of. Did you really, Robin? Did you? Oh, I am jealous. To be honest, I don't know how often I'll be using the zigs, but I have been eyeballing a few more colors. But I think it's one of those ones that I'm going to slowly get over time, because there's a local art store, a little hole in the wall place that I think I'm going to slowly get more and more through them instead of just buying the whole zig collection all at once, even though sometimes I look at it and I drool and I'm like, because there's a 90 set too, isn't there? But yeah, no, so the base of this page, let's see, I'm just gonna like zoom out. Not that far. Oh, maybe that far. You just get to see all of my very messy desk. So the base of this page, I basically put, I did a water wash on the page, and then I used the zigs and I just put them on the wet piece of paper and let them bleed out. And that's how I've got this base down here. And so I did Copics for the start of the stonework, which it looks really light on the stream, but I've darkened it up. And now I'm going back with colored pencils over top of the zigs and over top of the Copics. And I'm building up that contrast. That's my hope, at least. Hoping. Hi, Vicky. 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 So that is the origin story of this page. I think we're on color session number 4 right now. It's been a slow build. Okay, I think I got that bookmark where I want it to be. I have sort of an idea on how I want to handle this rose, but I think I'm going to do that glass very last because I want to lightly bring in the colors of the things behind it. So right in this section right here, I'm going to try and bring in some of that stained glass coloring, but mute it. But I can't bring that in until I know how dark I actually make that stained glass. And then do the same with this pillar that's behind it and the stonework. That's my hope. So I'm going to do everything else, and then I'm going to come back to this. I am absolutely in love with the Holbeins. Just because of the way they go down and the creaminess of them, I am really, really, really enjoying them. So they might, and what I really have to do is I have to see, once I fill out my Holbein color chart that I put together, I'm going to see how the poly colors sit next to the Holbein colors. I'm probably, to tell you the truth, going to be using the polys and the Holbeins together. Just because that's the way my brain works, and having that range of color is making me really, really excited. Okay, so I wanted to go in here and darken up some of this and build out these browns real quick. Dun, 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 dun. But I don't want to go too crazy with it. So I'm being very light-handed at the beginning, and I'm going to build it up slowly. And this is just the cinnamon and the mahogany. Those are the colors that I'm using right now. Probably add a little bit of a shadow underneath the cover. Don't want to add too much though. I'm okay if you can see some of the streaking of the colored pencils, because it just kind of gives it a feel of the pages, if that makes sense. I want to make this inner part darker than the outside pages, since we're essentially looking into a hole. Okay. I want to add a shadow under there. And this is just going to be my first pass at everything. I can guarantee you I will probably do yet another pass to add more contrast to it, because right now my layers are pretty light. So I'm keeping my strokes kind of, instead of doing my normal circular strokes, right now I am just going back and forth, since that's normally the direction pages go. I'm still thinking of a good story to read when I do the page in color for this page once I'm done. So if you guys have any like good dragon fairy tales that you think would be good to go with this page, let me know. Build up some of this a little bit more. Being super careful. Okay, and now I'm gonna do I'm assuming this is on top of a desk, and then the base of the flower, and then probably go back and do the pillars, or I might switch to some of the stonework. Tell you the truth, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do the stained glass yet, how I'm going to add the colored pencils into that, so I'm avoiding that area right now, but it will be done. But right now I'm going to hit all the areas that I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. Definitely want to build this stuff up here. Maybe without shaking my desk too much. I'm wondering if I should get the warm gray and fill out some of the shadows with that warm gray. So I'm definitely going to add more of the mahogany in this part right here, since it is more of the woodwork. than say the dragon and the pages were. I'm still trying to keep my color palette pretty limited. I'm trying to keep my head out from the camera right now. Yeah, maybe I do want to pull that gray out now and start adding some shadowing. I need to sharpen my pencil. Oh, dang it. I still haven't emptied out my pencil sharpener. I've got way too many shavings in it. Oh, I feel you, Pat. That was us before we switched service providers. We used to have the worst time with the internet just being flaky. I mean, it was fine when I first moved in here, but then after several years, it started doing some really weird things. And maybe I just started noticing it because I started streaming at that point. But, yeah, that's why we switched. And so far, we are absolutely loving having fiber rather than cable. Okay, you definitely have to build it up right here, because I ended up taking away a lot of the color, apparently. Yeah, providers are a little mean like that. You don't necessarily double check if, I don't know, you're in the middle of watching a Netflix binge or watching someone stream. They kind of just do whatever they want. Definitely got some of the green in there, didn't I? Really light down and get a little darker on the sides. Yeah, so you can start to see the difference between the desk and everything else. Some in there. Vicky. Thank you for stopping by. Dun, dun, dun. I'm liking that. Oh, are you not leaving, Vicky? I'm so confused. I'm sorry. If you're not leaving, then... I mean, I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm confused. But I am loving these Holbeins. I'm loving them so much. I think that's what I want to... I know it's still in the early stages. I'm one of those people where I will slowly work on one area and then I will leave it alone and I'll come back and I'll layer over it again. I don't know. But I think that's where I'm going to leave the desk for now. It could use a little bit of blending out still, but like I said, I want to add possibly some darker shadowy areas, so I probably want to get some of the dark warm grays out and do that at some point, but not necessarily right now. Okay, so I want to do a little bit on here, not too much. Mainly because I don't want this to end up matching all the stuff we just did. But I do. To add in some variants. Probably a little bit in the shadow of the rose as well. Oh, Pat. Yeah, I've done that before. Like, I did that. Sometimes I accidentally trip the the outlets in the kitchen. And then I assume I've broken my appliance, and not necessarily that I need to reset the outlets. I have possibly thrown away a hand mixer because I thought it was dead, but it was actually the outlet. Oops. So Ophelia. I've done it. I've done it. Dun, 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 dun. YouTube has caught up with me, but no check.
Or YouTube crashed.
YouTube crashed?
Or froze.
Because, I mean, I'm not seeing anything crazy on my end. I didn't even get a notification. Yay, technology. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna need to add in. See if I can blend that a little bit. There we go. Add a little bit more to the stand. Do I need to resend the link? Well, it's already in my copy paste. There you go. That Dropbox link should work, and it should have all of the color swatches that I've created. For the Tombow brush pens, the Irigen colored pencils, the Polychromos, well, not the Polychromos, it's the Faber-Castell, which does the Pit and the Polychromos, because I wanted to see those colors side by side. And then now the Holbein as well. So feel free to use those color charts however you desire. And since I am still holding the brown colors, maybe I will do the pillars up here. This is my hand. Are we having issues with the stream? Sorry. Is YouTube being weird? Do we need to fire YouTube? Okay. So I think I'm going to be okay with making this more towards the what we just did with the desk, making it more of that reddish. But I will slowly build up and decide. Add a little bit. Kind of make it look like it's an etched pillar. So give it some shadowing. Nice, Robin. Okay, so I only do TBR videos when I am going to do some kind of readathon. Otherwise, I don't normally do TBR videos because I am such a mood reader and I can't foresee what I'm going to read next because most of the times I don't even know what I feel like reading until after I've just finished my current book. And that is the best way for me to read because if I decide too far in advance what I'm going to read, I get the worst reading burnout ever because I feel like since I've already put it out to the universe that I'm going to read this book, that I have to read that book, and it doesn't always end well, which is the struggle that I've been having with the Kenville incidents. So that is it. So me not doing TBRs most of the time is more for my sanity than anything else. Because, I mean, usually after readathons and the fact that I am reading specific books to complete specific challenges, my reading always slows down after a readathon. And so I think that is part of the reason why. Is because I'm like, my brain's like, nope, I don't like being told what to do. You will just read whatever I feel like reading. So that is why I don't really have a lot of TBR videos. That was a very, very long explanation for that. And the dog agrees. How's the stream doing over there, hun?
It looks fine to me.
Well, that's not good. Especially if we have two people who are starting to struggle with the stream.
Quite understand that.
Let me turn off my volume. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it looks like everything's okay on this end, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on, Robin. Sometimes technology is a pain in the tuchus. Blend those out a little bit. Wonder what's going on then. Yep, technology. Gotta love it. I'm just going to do a nice wash of this color really quick. Okay, so in my brain, this pattern is cut into this pillar. At least that's how I'm imagining how this happened. I'm going to slowly try to make this darker than the outside of the pillar. I'm gonna sharpen this so I get more of a point. Oh, thank you. Okay, there, got more point on that pencil, so maybe that'll help. Gonna get into some of those tiny little corners. And kind of blend it out with the other one. Oopsie, forgot a spot. Okay. I think that's where I'm going to leave that pillar for now. I'll definitely come back and add some more shadow tones to it that aren't the browns, for sure. But now we got to do the same thing to this pillar, and then we should be done, and you can probably get some of that gray and start playing with it. See how many different positions I can get in to try and get in these corners and still have you guys see what I'm doing. And of course, just yell at me if all of a sudden you see my head in the middle of the screen. Because I'm pretty sure right now that would probably scare people. I just grabbed a hair tie this morning and just threw my hair up. So I'm like, no one's gonna see my face. I don't need to make my hair look nice. Yes, so the very first, okay, so if you go to the playlist that's linked in the description of this video, the first video is going to be a flip through of this book. The second video is going to be labeled one of question mark. That's where I do the zigs. And you can see the technique that I did. Because I was experimenting and I'm like, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. It may be a complete disaster, but I want to try this. And so I did. And so far, I think it turned out pretty decent. At least I hope I linked the right playlist in the description. Otherwise, I need to go back and edit a few things. Okay, let me add the cinnamon, and then we'll tone out some stuff again. Make a few things a little darker. Kind of like that. I'm wondering. Pull out my. Hold on. Don't know what that sound was, but it just happened. You're welcome. Okay. Let's see. We've got. I'm gonna do a warm gray 6. Maybe that'll give me the effect that I want. We're about to find out. Okay. I'm going to move camera down a little bit. Can I not do that? Okay, I'm going to move the picture up a little bit. Oh, that's not a good tip. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My pencil sharpener may be throwing a coup right now. It's like, I can't, there's too much. Need to remember to take it upstairs with me and throw it away in the trash can with a lid so that the dogs don't eat it. Okay. So this is just the warm gray 6. I'm gonna see if I might have already layered a little thick, but I want to see if I can add a little bit more contrast in some of these areas. I feel like the tone isn't quite matching. See if we can. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Pat. I think I just like to experiment way too much. It's most of the issue. But I don't want to add too much gray. Could probably have achieved a similar effect with maybe a darker brown. But I also didn't want to do anything too extreme. Because I don't even know how much of this is actually being picked up by the camera. Is there something you need, puppy? Is life hard? It's like I need more love. Love me, please. Even though I'm not even really awake. I'm gonna just keep rolling over and groaning. Oh, that's what I forgot to do yesterday. I have been working a little bit on the owl photo or picture that I started for Mother's Day that my grandma started coloring before she passed away. I've done a little, no, I haven't done a whole lot on it, but I've been meaning to keep you guys updated on my Insta stories, and I haven't posted that picture. So maybe that'll be one of my tasks for today, is to take a picture of where it's currently at, maybe color in a little bit more of it. So I won't lie right now. You guys are seeing me color from my webcam. Not 100% sure how I feel about the way this webcam picks up colors and is broadcasting everything. I'm still playing with the settings and learning about my settings. But over that direction, over there, connected to my other computer, I have my DSLR camera recording this coloring. And I like the picture that is coming from that way better than I like the picture that you guys are seeing. So I hope when I get the completed speed color put together, you guys are really excited about how all of this looks. Because I feel like the color balance is odd. And I keep trying to turn off the color balance and trying to set it myself, but then it always skews too far towards the blues or too far towards the yellows, and I don't like it. First world problems, right? Okay, so I was also going to do a little bit of this in this woodwork, at least around the book. Maybe in this seams of the planks. Do. Okay, bye, Robin. Why am I not using my DSLR? How do I explain this? Okay, so if I'm using my DSLR to stream, I can't zoom in. Because I also can't get an overhead shot yet, because I would have to get a special kind of tripod mount. So right now my DSLR is mounted on a tripod and it's getting this angle to shoot the video from. I mean, I guess theoretically I could stream from my DSLR. I can't. How do I explain this? When I'm sitting here and talking to you guys, and I'm trying to like focus on certain sections of whatever I'm working on, it's so much easier with the webcam because I can just click and zoom and move around. Whereas if I was to do that with my DSLR, I would have to like manually control the tripod because I don't have a zoom lens on my DSLR. I like using primary lenses, which are fixed lenses, and that's why. Does that make sense? I mean, there's certainly possibilities at some point of maybe, no, because, I mean, trying to set up an overhead with the DSLR. I don't know. You got me thinking now. You got me thinking. Because it's just a Canon Rebel T3 that I've had for years. And that's what I shoot all of my booktube videos on too. No, I don't think I'm going to add any of this gray in the book though. I think I like how the pages already look. I say that now and then 2 seconds later I'll be like, maybe I'll try a little bit here. Let's see what happens. I mean, because that's just the way I am. Sometimes I feel like the stuff that I'm doing is so stinking subtle. Oh, you know what? I've just realized why one of my readings, my reasons for shooting with 2 different cameras. Because on my live streams, I can do really cool things like this. And now we have comments from you guys that I could just throw up onto the streams, or I could, flip over to my desktop like I did earlier in the stream. But I don't necessarily want that in the recording that I'm going to use for my speed color, because then I have to do all this really complicated editing to get all of those pieces out. Whereas when I'm finally done with this page, I have a recording from my DSLR that I can just speed up, hook together really quickly, and put out for all of you guys to view. That was another one of my logical reasons for recording on 2 different cameras. You have a T6i. Oh, nice. You're a couple models ahead of me. A PVC pipe. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Send me pictures. So, yeah, I mean, anywhere. I don't DM me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm pretty much on all of them. So, yeah, that was one of my lines of reasonings way back when, which by way back when I mean like a month ago, when I finally got a webcam instead of live streaming with my phone. And part of the reason I decided to get a webcam instead of my phone is because I have this beautiful Blue Yeti microphone that I'm like, it picks up beautiful sound and I want to use it during my live stream. And so, boom. How'd I do what? How did I do this? Is that what you're asking about? How did I put your beautiful comments on the screen? I'm having way too much fun with that. I really like doing that when I remember that I can actually do that. That is part of the streaming package that I have. And the whole reason, another one of the reasons why I decided to stop streaming on my phone and start streaming through my computer with a webcam is so I can start doing some of those, throwing those comments up and having my end screen like I usually do. So I have this streaming platform that is called Ecamm Live that I started using about a month ago when I decided to switch to the webcam and to the Blue Yeti. Kind of upgrading my streaming setting a little bit. And I got it specifically because I could do the throwing up of comments, because sometimes when people are watching back, they don't necessarily look at the chat. And then I answer questions to something and I don't always remember to read what the question was. And so I can just throw it up there and answer the question. It's called Ecamm, Ecamm Live. It's a subscription package that you pay monthly. I just paid for a full year. And so I have it for about a year and I can play with it for about a year. And if it's not something I want to do later, then I can just cancel my subscription. But it lets me stream to YouTube. And if I decided that I wanted to stream to Twitch or to Facebook as well, I can do all of that simultaneously, which is kind of awesome. And then all of the chats from all of those different platforms would all be in one chat. So I wouldn't have to try and monitor like several different chat, which is great. Not that I ever really plan on, streaming to multiple platforms like that. That seems like it would be a nightmare, let's be honest. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, now that I'm done with all of the woodwork, I'm going to move back up to the stonework. I think that's where I want to live now. So, at least finish this arch before the stream is done. I want to fill in this blue a little bit more. I don't know if I'll be able to completely hide the line that happened because of that watercolor. Yeah, and another one of the reasons that I switched over to Ecamm Live is because I do the book club live streams with Shay over at Shay Geeks Out, and in the past, we have used Google Hangouts to do the live streams, and those have worked pretty well. But with the way that YouTube keeps on switching everything it does, I don't know how much longer they're going to do the Hangout on air, and they're going to let you broadcast that. And Ecamm lets me call someone on Skype and then live stream it. So if I was friends with any of you guys on Skype right now, I could be like, here, let me go call this person. And then I could split the screen and I could be coloring. And then you guys would be on the other half of the screen and we'd just be chatting away. Ooh, that sounds kind of fun. Can you guys imagine the buddy color live streams we could do with something like that? So if one of you guys had Skype or something like that, and you had your webcam or whatever pointed down at your color sheet, and then I called you, and then I'm over on this part of the screen over here coloring my picture, and then whoever I called is on the other side of the screen coloring their picture, we could spend like a whole stream coloring together. Huh. That has possibilities. That might have to happen in the future. Would you guys be interested in that? Possibly. Hi! Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could pop in. Ooh, rats. That's exciting. You have rats? I'm a little jealous. I've always wanted rats. I used OBS for work, and I really like OBS, but there's some finite controls that I thought were easier to use on Ecamm. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that Ecamm is only for a Mac platform. Forgot about that. Pat's in for a buddy color. Live streaming buddy, because I don't know if that's ever really happened on ColorTube before, if we had two people streaming at once in the same stream. Huh, I think that would be cool. Okay, I lost track of what I was doing. I'm coloring bricks. That's that's what I'm doing right now. And I guess they're not bricks, they're stones. I just got really super excited about the concept of maybe doing buddy colors live. Okay, and I think I used this on the green. Yes, I did. Oh, I bet they are the most cutest things ever. I told myself I wasn't gonna ever get any more animals than the 7 I have right now. But you have to believe, if there ever was a hairless rat that showed up at the shelter, I would pick them up in a heartbeat. I mean, I love my skinny pigs. And I love my Sholos, and I love my Sphinxes. But someday I would love to be the caretaker of a hairless rat. Or several. Or all of them. Because I've heard that rats are so stinking social and they bond to humans like crazy. Really? Why did I not know that they have done it? I might have to try and look that up and see how they did that and what they did and all that kind of stuff. Apparently I just don't hang out with the right people. Or at least I need to hang out with more people. I mean, I want to be in more of the live streams. I'm not gonna lie. I want to watch more of the live streams. It's just, most of the time people are streaming when I'm at work, and so I can never catch them and I have to watch the recordings instead. Woo! I almost flung that pencil across the room. That would have ended well. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, there's been several rats that have come through the shelter, and I just kind of cuddle. Well, I don't really cuddle them. I'm not really allowed to handle them that much, but I've taken their pictures and interacted with them, and they're so sweet. Well, they've got to call each other somehow, right? Or are they in person together doing buddy colors? That's what I'm wondering about. Because theoretically, if I can call anybody, we don't necessarily have to be in the same room, which would be cool. Or the same continent. Or the same time zone. Or the same planet, though I don't know if anybody is coloring on the space station right now. It would be cool if they were. Yeah, OBS is a pretty popular platform. I know a lot of people, because I mean, it's a free application. And when you know what you're doing with it, it's pretty powerful. Like I said, I use it for work when I'm doing user testing, so that I can broadcast the test to other meeting rooms and they can see what's going on without overwhelming the users that are testing out our products. Because I know you can do like overlays and hook in your chat and displays your like your full on chat, and you can switch views and all that kind of stuff. Something about the Ecamm platform just called to me a little bit more. Yes, Pat. Yes. Oh no. That's one of the things, it's one of my biggest fears with all of my animals, is that there'll be a house fire and I'm not able to grab everybody, or I'm not home when it happens. It's kind of like the other day when we had tornadoes nearby us and we weren't home. And so if the house had been hit, and nope, don't like thinking about it. I like those names. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, are you getting antsy, baby boy? I know one thing I've been meaning to do for ages and a half. And something that I'm hoping to do relatively soon is I've got my girls on my arm, but I need to add the hellhounds and the grims to my arm as well. At some point, it's gonna happen. Ooh, it is definitely almost lunchtime. Yay for new babies! I'm glad. Okay, so I think now that I've colored a little bit of this stonework, so I'm going to darken some of these real quick. What are you doing, baby boy? Pop. Oh, he's chewing his foot raw. Albus. Pup. Stop that. Oh, we might have to put the cone on him. Cause yeah, he's that one paw is like not his front, his back. You see it? Ah, poor baby boy. I have two Sholos. So the Mexican hairless. They're not big pups. They're about 15 pounds a piece. We adopted them, what was it, like 6 months ago now? And unfortunately, I think Albus is having some allergies to being outside, and it's not going well. Thought they had him under control. Apparently not. Might be because the chiggers are now out, and so he's getting some bug bites, and he's not leaving them alone. And
Ooh.
Is it really bad?
I was thinking maybe bleeding a little.
Well, yeah, like I said, he had a scab there this morning. Oh, I love the Aussies. They're so pretty. Granted, the schnauzers are kind of adorable too. I'm just deepening up some of the stonework here because I feel like they weren't contrasty enough. They're kind of starting to fade. Yeah, we might want to DE the yard.
Yeah, I will after I mow.
Because that's the only thing I can think of that's going on right now. So that they're getting bit. Oh, perfect! I will totally look for those pictures after we're done here, which is going to be in a few minutes. As soon as I get this stonework wrapped up. Yeah! I'm liking the contrast a lot more. I was just getting a little bit of heartburn putting color down that dark right away. So I am very much used to working with Copics most of the time, and so I always start with a light color and slowly build up to the dark. But with colored pencils, my instinct is to start with the dark and then add in the light, and so it's almost like working backwards for me. So adding the dark on right away sometimes is like, ah, and I know I could probably work the other way with the colored pencils, but the thing about colored pencils, which I think is part of the reason why I'm like, let's start with the dark, is that a lot of times you hit a certain point where you can't add any more color. So you can't darken and you can't lighten. Whereas with my Copics, you can continue to saturate the paper and that ink just keeps on moving. And you don't necessarily ever get to a point where you can't add more color on, unless, of course, you like eat through the paper and then then you're just out of luck. So I guess I just don't want to hit that point where I've just got too much of a buildup of the colored pencils that I can't do anything more. Okay. Last stone. All right. Let me zoom out real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is where we are at now. What was I gonna say? I am going to attempt to add all of the new Tombow colors to the Tombow color chart. Really excited, and I will hopefully have that out for you guys. I will color in my Holbein color chart, and I'll put that video up for you guys to watch. I'm hoping to do that this week maybe Thursday or Friday, and have that up. But I hope all of you guys can join me again next week. Same time, same place, 11 Central, this channel. And I will once again put up my post and say, hey, do you want to color crystals or do you want to color dragons? I don't really care. If we want to color this dragon again, I'm all for this. I'm really excited to see how this ends up when it's completed. But I hope to see you guys back here again, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.